Whenever I hear something about, something that's going to help with the brain exercise or memory, I'm all on it. I'm excited about it. So it's like music. It was really interesting. I was watching a program, and they were just talking about aging, seniors, actually memory challenges. And they talked about music, and they talked about how music engages so many different parts of the brain that it awakens it. With mom getting older and my realizing that I can't do it all, I there's no way. There's a couple that attends church with me, Charles and Carolyn, who own Wisdom Senior Care. And, someone recommended me to them. So I spoke with Carolyn, explained the situation. She's like, oh yeah, that's what we do. So, we talked, and I actually went to the office and, went through the assessments and everything. And so they sent someone here, and it was amazing to have that help, I'm grateful. Wisdom is an amazing company. Their team is amazing, and they just have a wonderful setup, and the way they work together, and I'm able to contact them and express myself. So that day, later in the afternoon, when mom and I were sitting, together, I'm like, Mom, let's sing, So we started singing these songs and, laughing, making up words, but we were just singing. And I was like, man, I'm going to go get her some headphones. I'm going to program some songs that she'll love. I was ready to do that. Well, that night, I actually spoke with Carolyn at Wisdom, and we were talking about, just various things. We were probably on the phone for an hour. Right at the end, she said, oh, by the way, we're having an event in a few weeks, and it's going to be about music and what they found about how it stimulates the brain. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mom and I were just singing together. I just heard about that study. And anyway, I knew we had to be there. So actually that night I went on, registered us for the event, was really excited. The day finally came, got Mom up, and we were there.
first thank every person that has come here and helped to sponsor this event. We thank Carolina Meadows, Brookdale Senior Living, and UNC, who were our major sponsors, but we also thank a lot of our vendors who have all agreed to come and participate. And we're very excited to have you come and join, and that you really see the importance of educating the community about Alzheimer's.
Now, prior to me getting off the stage, I would like to bring up our MC.
Joseph Tensa. You can see some pictures of him up here and my family on the PowerPoint. He was a sports fanatic. My grandfather was funny, intelligent, and a loving man. He was a graduate from Holy Cross College. He earned his dental degree from Georgetown University. He got his master's from George Washington University. He served in the Navy for 25 years, and after he became the chair of endodontics department at Tufts University. He was the president of the American Endodontic Association in 1993. This past January, we lost my grandfather to Alzheimer's. He suffered with the disease for 10 years and spent the last 8 years of his life in a nursing home. During those 8 years, I visit him as much as I could on birthdays, holidays, Father's Day, and every time I pulled into the parking lot of the nursing home, often I would pray, I hope today's a good day for him, because all of you sitting here, I'm sure you understand the disease, and you have good days and you have bad days. And days where they remember who you are, days where they don't even know if you're in the room. So you pray when you see them that they'll recognize you, that they'll smile, and maybe today will be different. And by the time I became a sports reporter, my grandfather had completely lost his memory. But I still told him, I still would go into his room and show him videos of what I'd been doing. But I'd love to hear what he thought of those videos. I'd love, to know his advice for me as someone growing in this industry. I'd love to hear his ideas, but unfortunately, he was present, but mentally he wasn't there, so we weren't able to have those conversations. So today and here forward, let's continue to be aware of the disease and continue to make strides towards finding a cure. That being said, welcome, and I'd like to introduce our first speaker. She's been involved with music for over 30 years. As a piano and voice teacher, she raised 3 daughters, went to school after that, got 2 degrees, and then went back and got her master's. Music therapy has become her passion, so let's all welcome Fonda Laughlin to the stage.
What was so awesome about the music therapy she talked about is that it actually connects the right hemisphere to the left hemisphere of the brain. It connects those two. It increases the endorphins, the motor skills, the joy. Like I was saying, it brought an energy in the room. It uplifts. And these are things that are proven.
Everybody take a breath. Everybody ready? Go. I think you can do better. Ready? Here we go. Here we go.
It was awesome. It was amazing. I mean, she really like just engaged the participants with, instruments, the maracas, the bells, or just different instruments, and having the scarves and things to wave. And I mean, she just involved movement and singing, and it was like nostalgic songs that brought back memories probably for people. It was amazing. She's so energetic, and you could tell she was so passionate about it.
Mood enhancement. Love it. Yes. Fine motor skills. Yes. If you have some, I've got fine motor skills going on. How about you? Joy. Joy. Yeah. Mood enhancement. Yes. And the endorphins that helps the memory. All works together, doesn't it?
I did speak with her after. I'm looking forward to bringing her in because that's what she does, musical therapy, and she'll come in and tailor it to the person. So I'm so excited about that.
Hi, I'm Erin Jeslin. I work for Brookdale Senior Living, and I'm here at the Wisdom Senior Care event, and we're very excited to start our new partnership with Wisdom. They seem like a great company and very caring about our senior population. We're hopefully going to have them in our buildings and be able to follow their seniors to provide that continuity of care. So this event that Wisdom is putting on today definitely adds value to our community in several ways. It brings attention to the issues that our residents, many of our residents, are facing with dementia and their families. It provides valuable information so people know what to look for and possibly how to cope and handle with a new situation that they may be encountering. And not only that, but making it interactive and having music, and it's a great way to get everyone involved and make it entertaining and informative at the same time. And it's an issue that many of our residents and their families are dealing with. So any information and any education that we can provide to the community is definitely helpful. So this event is a great way to not only get the word out and inform others, but do it in a very entertaining way.
The next speaker was from the Alzheimer's Association.
She's a registered nurse, a community educator for Alzheimer's Association of Eastern North Carolina. Recently moved here from Syracuse, New York. You may mistake her for Miss New York. She is quite the dancer, as you saw during Twist and Shout. Let's put our hands together for Sherry Hilton.
Hi, I'm Sherry Hilton. I'm a registered nurse. Just moved here from Syracuse, New York, and have worked with elders and caregivers of people with dementia for a long time. and really consider it a privilege to share down here in North Carolina. And Wisdom Senior Care is helping do what all of us want, which is to stay home as long as possible, where people know us, where we're around the things that we need. And they're doing a wonderful job. I've networked, I've only been here a few months, but they were some of the first people I met that are involved in helping elders stay home and helping caregivers go the distance with them.
You know, she talked about that if we don't do something about, you know, Alzheimer's, that, you know, it could potentially bankrupt the medical system. And, you know, one thing that stood out to me was, you know, how do you pursue a diagnosis of diseases that mimic dementia, right? Because, you know, a lot of times people just accept, you know, what's going on with their loved one, not knowing it could be something else. There could be like many strokes going on, you know, so many different things could be happening that are causing this memory loss or something that looks like, you know, dementia, Alzheimer's. That's not it. And so you really have to go beyond the primary care person and get an accurate diagnosis. That's so important. You know, just the immense, I guess, burden on the medical system. You know, that really stood out, because you hear the phrase Alzheimer's, and you know, you don't know, but there are so many people that are affected, and there are different things that help with you know, with the brain. The 4 things that I have are socialization, spirituality, aerobic exercise, and healthy eating. You know, those are things that we can do to help to offset that.
Each other is to help maintain that dignity and what we would want. And music is a great way. I've had the training in music and memory and things to see how music can cut through, as Oliver Sacks called, the quickening art.
What I've seen with music is in every stage, music can make a difference. I was so excited because the takeaway is whatever you do with music, it can't hurt. Especially if it's music that they love and appreciate.
Hi, I'm Faith Patterson with the University of North Carolina Division of Geriatric Medicine. We are here marketing our geriatric specialty clinic. We appreciate Wisdom Senior Care for inviting us to be a vendor here at their event for Alzheimer's education. We chose to be a sponsor just because they work a lot with the diseases that affect our patient population base. We have a division full of geriatricians who work with senior citizens age 65 and above to help them with their primary care, health care needs. And Alzheimer's, of course, is a major disease that affects our population, patient population. And we appreciate the support that Wisdom Senior Care gives and the Alzheimer's Association with the care for our patient base.
I thoroughly enjoyed Amy from Carolina Meadows.
We're the largest single site in the state. We serve about 750 residents live with us. And we have villas and apartments, and then also offer assisted living and nursing care.
One thing that was phenomenal was the video that she showed about Henry and how, you know, music just totally changed. I mean, he started interacting and doing things that he had never done. You know, he was not interacting. He was not, you know, just sort of to himself. Amazing, amazing transformation. And that particular documentary was called Alive Inside. And, you know, there's so much proof out there of what music is doing and its capabilities.
How many of you have seen the clip about Henry? So some of you have, and if you have, you're gonna see it again because it's that powerful. So this was filmed for a movie called Alive Inside.
We first see Henry inert, maybe depressed, unresponsive, and almost unalive. Then he is given an iPod containing, we know, his favorite music. And immediately he lights up. His face assumes expression, his eyes open wide. He starts to sing and to rock and to move his arms, and he's being animated by the music.
And he used to always sit on the unit with his head like this. He didn't really talk to much people. And then when I introduced the music to him, this is his reaction ever since.
And one thing that I also loved about it, and she showed a video of even things that were going on with their facility, that there's an intergenerational capability, because you have, the younger generation coming in to spend time with the older ones, and they're able to program their iPods and get their music, get all that set up, and they're able to come out and have a really great time. And I think that's so important, when you have the younger generation coming in and talking with the older generation. It's so beneficial for both.
So I'm Amy Gorley from Carolina Meadows, and we're pleased to have Wisdom Senior Care be one of our preferred partners. One of the reasons we care so much about using Wisdom is that we know they go through many steps in making sure that they pick the right person to be the direct care worker. They are real careful about who they select, and they train people really well, and that we know that who they send out are going to be really person-centered, are going to give the caring touch and attention that we want for our residents. So we're excited to have them as one of our preferred partners, and we look forward to continuing to grow this relationship. Thank you.
So with Miss North Carolina, beautiful, young, pageant winner, and for a person her age to want Alzheimer's to be her platform, I thought was just phenomenal. She was talking about her journey and how, I guess, she did little pageants when she was younger, but that wasn't necessarily something she had planned for her future. She was into music, and it's just so powerful how with music and memory and just music and everything that it does, the fact that she, even though she won Miss North Carolina and decided to advocate for Alzheimer's, she just happens to be a phenomenal musician. And so, she was able to sing a song for us that was pretty much dedicated to the Alzheimer's community.
She doesn't know if it's June or it's December. Children, if she could remember. about the house they bought in 43. But she won't know you and she won't know me. She can't even remember if the old days were all that good. But she'd tell you all about it if she could. The grass withers, the flowers fade, everything will pass away, pass away. She struggles to hold to the things that are fading away.
The great thing about Wisdom Senior Care is they share my same vision, which is making sure that our senior citizens receive the best care that they possibly can. I think so many people really focus so much upon our children, and they are very important, but our history and our heritage is cultivated within our elders. So it's very special that we share that in common, and to be invited to your music and memory event today and to be a keynote speaker was such an honor to be able to advocate for our families.
So my takeaway from Reverend Henry was it had to do with our demographic of African Americans and how this disease is affecting us at a greater rate, and the reasons why. Maybe access to health care is not as strong or as available. Also our diets, right? The typical diet, and so many things that really could be altered, right? And to enable us to do better, to have our memory for a lot longer, to not be affected or ravaged by this disease. And he talked about how it's a long continuum, that it can stretch out maybe 20 years. That's a long time. And he also talked about how do something that you've never done before, because when you do that, it creates new brain waves. So maybe paint or learn to play an instrument, or just do something new to create new brain waves.
For instance, take a class in photography, class in knitting, something that you've never done before. Try brushing your teeth with your left hand if you're right handed, or right hand if you're left handed. Try that. Combing your hair with the opposite hand. Doing things differently might make some connections in your brain that haven't been made before, okay? But these are good starting points.
There is a lot of talk about, the diet and eating better, eating healthier, and exercising. When I talked about the African American demographic, people were saying, well, why didn't we know? This is something that's been going on for a long time. Why does it seem like Alzheimer's is just now coming out? But he talked about how, well, in the African American community, if something was wrong, if you were talking out of your head or whatever, they called you senile, or, they like maybe lock a person up in a room until company left, and, they just didn't really address it. They just sort of let it go and said, oh, that's, they're just old age. And, so it's not that it's something new, but it's just people are living longer. There's more research going on, and just so phenomenal. There's so much in the African American community that we can prevent, just through lifestyle changes. And that was just, to me, that was just incredible, just incredible.
Today to share with you information about what I consider, of course, I'm very biased, an opportunity for all of us to come together to be a dementia-inclusive community. And what that means is getting all of the persons living with dementia be part of all of the things that we are thinking about we need to do. One of the highest risks for elder abuse is living with dementia. Maybe unintentional, but the challenge, I'm sure you've heard about this, the challenges of being a care partner or a caregiver or a provider could be such that unintentionally sometimes words are said, actions are manifest. That could be hurtful to somebody living with dementia.
I learned so much, and people shared their hearts and how much they love their parents.
And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, when people come into my practice, it's usually for women. They usually have brothers and sisters. And it's the women that really carry the load of this.
What I like to tell people is that the onset of dementia, Alzheimer's, is very unique. It's different for every person. And sometimes you don't recognize the signs right away, but they do get progressively worse. And with my mother, she was very proud of her house, and she was an expert homemaker, decorator, and an insurance executive. And that's why it was so sad to lose all of that. Over time, but she would say, somebody's been cleaning the bricks on my house, and I'd say, well, send them over to my house, because I need my house looked after. And I would try to keep it light, but over time it progressed and it got worse.
They talked about there's so many options for taking care of your loved one financially, to keep them in the home. There are a lot of options. And also self-care. That's important with self-care, to not be so consumed with what's going on with your loved one that you're not looking out for yourself.
So I kind of urge people, go back and think a moment, and you'll see little warning signs. And that's the time when you should really pay attention and find some help. Find somebody to talk to about it. Tell them something's not quite right, instead of being in denial and being, we're always too busy doing what's important to do what's important. It's been like a roller coaster ride with this, and I am now kind of coming to the realization that I even need some help. I probably need somebody to talk to.
But it's just so important to, let people know, like seek out options, and don't just try to do it all yourself.
I wish if anybody knows anybody who needs help with financial stuff, talk to your financial person, talk to any financial planner. Look them up on the internet and talk to somebody. There is help out there. So that if you're just one caregiver you can get some help.
You know, and everyone brought different things to the table, but I'm going to say that it opened up my eyes to what other people are doing, you know, how they're handling the stress, and it was just it was just such a great idea to be able to share different testimonies